Marcus doesn't have a debt problem. No maxed out credit cards, no loans he can't pay, no financial disaster in his rearview mirror. He earns $400 a month after taxes. Military career, 11 years in, housing covered, car paid off, no dependents. By every conventional measure, Marcus should be building something. He isn't. Every month, not sometimes, not occasionally, every single month, he reaches the 22nd and the math stops working. Not in a catastrophic way, in a quiet, almost polite way. The kind of financial suffocation that doesn't alarm anyone, including him. There's always a reason. This month it was the mechanic. Last month the trip. The month before that, honestly, he doesn't remember. And here's the thing about Marcus. He has thought about this. He's not oblivious. He has opened budgeting apps. He has made mental commitments to invest starting next month. He has watched videos, maybe some like this one, nodded, felt motivated for 48 hours, and then returned to exactly the same behavior. Because the problem isn't information, and it isn't income. According to data from SPC Brazil and the CNDL, approximately 78% of Brazilians cannot save a single real at the end of the month. Not 78% of low-income Brazilians, 78% across the board. That number includes government employees, military personnel, CLT workers with stable salaries, people who, on paper, should be building wealth. If income were the variable, the number wouldn't be 78%. So what is the variable? That's the question nobody is asking loudly enough. And that's exactly what this video is about. Let me tell you something about Marcus's Tuesdays. He leaves the barracks at 6:40 p.m. He stops for coffee, rate dollars. Nothing. He uses a delivery app on the way home because he's tired and cooking feels like a second shift. A 34. He buys something on a promotion that appeared on his phone screen while he was waiting for the food. $47. He pays a streaming platform he's forgotten he subscribed to. $29.90. He buys a beer at the corner store because it's Tuesday, and Tuesday is a long way from Friday. A 12. Total, so $90. On a Tuesday. Marcus does not remember this Tuesday. Not because anything notable happened, but because nothing notable happened. It was just Tuesday. It was just money moving the way money always moves. Now multiply that by the invisible texture of every single day. The small coffees, the impulsive lunches, the subscriptions that auto-renew, the "I'll just grab this now" purchases, the social obligations, the group birthday dinner, where everyone splits the bill equally, even though you ordered water. The weekend that seemed cheap, but wasn't. None of these feel like decisions, they feel like living. That's the mechanism. Daniel Kahneman, in Thinking, Fast and Slow, describes two operating systems in the human brain. System 1, fast, automatic, emotionally driven, and System 2, slow, deliberate, analytical. Here's the brutal truth about money. Almost every financial decision we make on a daily basis is processed by System 1. It doesn't feel like a decision at all. It feels like breathing. The latte isn't a financial decision. It's a habit so automatic it bypasses conscious thought entirely. The delivery order isn't a choice. It's what tired men do on Tuesdays. The promotion purchase isn't impulsiveness. It's System 1 seeing a number it recognizes as reasonable and completing a transaction before System 2 ever wakes up. This is what I call the invisible drain. And it is the primary financial mechanism operating in the lives of the 78%. Not bad luck, not low income, not one catastrophic decision. Thousands of micro decisions, none of which feel like decisions, collectively excavating wealth before it can accumulate. I want to confess something here. I've been there, not in a dramatic way, in Marcus's way, looking at the account on the 22nd and thinking, with genuine confusion, where did it go? And the worst part was not the money missing. It was the absence of a clear villain. I couldn't point to one thing and say, that's what broke me. It was everything, which meant in practice, it felt like nothing. That's the trap. There's a concept that changes the entire frame. I want to give it a name. The cost of unconsciousness. Not the cost of your biggest mistakes. Not the car loan or the vacation on credit. The cost of living on autopilot. Of letting System 1 manage resources that require System 2 deliberation. And the cost of unconsciousness is not just financial. It compounds across 3 dimensions simultaneously. Let's go through them. Layer 1, the micro-leak architecture. SPC Brazil, data confirms that 81% of Brazilians have little to no knowledge of how to control personal expenses, and more than a third don't know the value of the bills due next month. That's not irresponsibility, that's invisibility. You can't control what you can't see. The micro-leak architecture works like this. Your brain has a loss aversion threshold. Purchases below a certain perceived value, typically anything that feels like it costs almost nothing, don't register as real financial events. A $12 for a beer doesn't feel like 12 hours. It feels like nothing. But if you spend $12 12 times across a week, that's $144. If that pattern holds for a month, that's $576. Across a year, $6,912 on something your brain logged as nothing, 12 times a week. The micro-leak architecture is not a spending problem. It's a visibility problem. The brain is not equipped to aggregate microtransactions in real time. It was never designed to. And in an economy built on friction-free digital payments, that cognitive blind spot has become one of the most powerful wealth transfer mechanisms in existence. Every time you tap your card for something small, the financial system gets a little richer. Not because you're stupid, because you're human. Question: if you totaled every purchase under $50 you made last month, the coffees, the delivery fees, the convenience purchases, what would that number actually be? Layer 2. The amnesia economy is something that almost nobody talks about in financial content. Subscriptions are not a convenience product. They are a psychological architecture designed to exploit the gap between purchase decision and recurring cost. You subscribed to that platform with intention. You made a conscious decision. System 2 was involved. You evaluated the price, decided it was worth it, and signed up. That was the last time you thought about it. Since then, it has renewed, let's say 11 times. You haven't evaluated it once. Each renewal happens in the background, below the threshold of awareness, processed entirely by your bank and never reviewed by your brain. You are paying for something you decided to buy once and have been passively buying 11 more times without a single additional decision. Now multiply that by every subscription you have. The streaming services, the app you upgraded once, the cloud storage that auto-renewed, the news platform you forgot you subscribed to during a free trial. Research from the Journal of Consumer Research shows that people consistently underestimate their subscription spending by an average of 2.5x. Men who believe they spend $80 per month on subscriptions are typically spending $200 or more. Not because they lied, because the design of the subscription economy is specifically optimized to stay below the threshold of conscious awareness. This is the amnesia economy, a financial environment engineered to extract value from human memory limitations. And it's spectacularly successful. Question: can you list, from memory right now, every active subscription you're paying for, including the ones that auto-renewed without notification? Layer 3, the velocity illusion. Money that moves fast feels like less money. Digital payments, contactless cards, one-click purchases. These technologies have systematically removed the psychological friction that once made spending feel real. Research by Drazen Prelek and Duncan Semester at MIT established what they called the pain of paying, a measurable neurological response that activates when humans part with money. The pain is higher with cash, lower with cards, almost non-existent with digital wallets and autopay. The velocity illusion is the financial consequence of frictionless payment. When spending doesn't hurt, you spend more, not impulsively in the dramatic sense, continuously in the invisible sense. The same coffee costs the same amount whether you pay with cash or tap your phone. But your brain registers the cash payment as a loss and the tap as almost nothing. The choice architecture changes the emotional weight of the transaction without changing its financial reality. Rodrigo: wait, I want to go back to Marcus. Marcus hasn't paid cash for anything in 2 years. He doesn't remember the last time he physically counted money before spending it. And that physical act of counting, that momentary friction, was one of the few mechanisms that kept System 2 in the room during small purchases. Tap the phone. System 1 wins every time. Question: when was the last time you felt the actual weight of spending? Not anxiety, not regret, but the real-time sensation of a decision being made with your resources. Layer 4, the identity consumption loop. This is where it gets deeper than budgeting. There is a category of spending that isn't about the product at all. It's about the daily maintenance of self-concept. The coffee isn't just coffee. It's what Marcus does in the morning. It's part of who he is. The restaurant on Saturday isn't just food. It's how he exists socially, how he performs belonging, how he signals to himself and others that life is okay. The delivery on Tuesday isn't just convenience. It's rest in a form he can purchase, a small act of self-care for a man who gives a lot and receives relatively little in return. None of these are wrong. All of them have a cost that nobody is tracking. The identity consumption loop works like this. Your self-concept requires maintenance spending. You've built habits, rituals, and social patterns that have associated costs. These costs don't feel like spending. They feel like being yourself. And because they're tied to identity, not desire, they're almost impossible to cut without triggering something that feels like self-denial or social exclusion. This is why budgeting apps fail almost everyone. They can track the spending. They cannot touch the identity architecture that produces it. You can see the number. You still tap the phone. Because the spending isn't about the money. It's about the self. The path out of the identity consumption loop isn't discipline. It's reconstruction. Consciously deciding which habits serve you and which ones serve a version of you that was built by default rather than by design. Question: which of your regular spending patterns would feel like losing a part of yourself if you stopped? And is that person someone you chose to be or someone you just became? Layer 5, the future self-discount. Behavioral economists have established something devastating about human temporal cognition. We treat our future selves as strangers. Specifically, neuroimaging studies by Hal Hirschfield at UCLA showed that when people think about their future self, the neural activity resembles thinking about a fictional stranger more than thinking about their current self. What this means, practically, saving money feels like giving money to someone you don't know. Spending money feels like giving it to yourself right now. The brain doesn't naturally experience deferred gratification as self-care. It experiences it as self-denial in favor of a hypothetical person. Marcus knows intellectually that the 57-year-old Marcus will need what 37-year-old Marcus is spending today. He knows this. But the 57-year-old feels abstract, distant, almost fictional. The delivery app is real. The Tuesday is now.
This is the deepest layer of the 78% pattern, and it's the one that no spreadsheet can address. Until the future self becomes emotionally real, until you can feel the connection between today's micro-leak and tomorrow's freedom, the behavior doesn't change, regardless of how well you understand the mechanism.
But here's the thing I need you to hear. Most people reach this point, feel the discomfort, and reach for the wrong tool. They download another app. They make another mental commitment. They think the problem is that they haven't tried hard enough. That's not the problem. The problem is that they're trying to solve an identity-level issue with a behavioral-level tool. And that's where everything falls apart. This is the moment where I want to tell you about something we built for exactly this gap. The free. Your Mind Kit is not a course. There's no monthly fee, no membership, no ongoing commitment, lifetime access. It was built in 3 parts because the problem has 3 layers. First, the ebook, The 5 Patterns That Keep You Stuck. 35 pages of psychological financial diagnosis. This is the intellectual layer. It maps the exact mental architectures, the invisible drain, the amnesia economy, the future self-discount, in forensic detail. You read it once, and you'll never look at your checking account the same way. Second, the cost of stability calculator, an interactive tool that takes your actual numbers and shows you the real cost of your current trajectory, not theoretical, your age, your income, your current behavior, your projected future. The number it produces is uncomfortable, intentionally so, because the intellectual understanding of the pattern changes very little. The emotional reality of the cost, calculated in years, in freedom, in the life that doesn't get built, that's what actually moves people. Third, the Free Your Mind series. 3 audio tracks, 21 days, 7 to 12 minutes each, designed for the morning or for the night before sleep. The 3 tracks work in sequence. Identity first, then value, then action. This is the order that actually works, because you can know everything about behavioral economics and still tap the phone on Tuesday. The identity-level work is what closes that gap.
The ebook creates intellectual awareness. The calculator creates emotional urgency. The audios rebuild the foundation.
3 tools, 1 diagnosis, no pressure. The link is in the description, when you're ready. Now let me go somewhere you might resist, because I know the thought that's forming right now. My situation is different. I have a salary floor. Or, I just need a raise and this will solve itself. Or, the most dangerous one, I control my spending pretty well. This doesn't really apply to me. That last one is statistically the most common response among the people this pattern hits hardest. The men who are most inside the invisible drain are, by definition, the least able to see it. Not because they're less intelligent, because the nature of automatic behavior is that it doesn't announce itself. You can be an intelligent, self-aware, analytically capable man, and simultaneously be running a financial operating system that's extracting 1/3 of your wealth-building capacity on autopilot, every month, invisibly. Here's the real cost I want to name. Not the $6,912 in micro-leaks per year, though that's real. The real cost is structural time. If Marcus saves nothing from age 37 to 42, 5 years of unchanged behavior, and then begins investing $800 per month at a conservative 8% annual return, he'll reach retirement with a particular number. If Marcus had started at 32, 5 years earlier, investing the same $800 per month, the number is not a little higher. Due to compounding, it's dramatically, life-alteringly higher. The difference between starting at 32 and starting at 37 isn't 5 years of savings. It's 20 years of compounding on those 5 years. It's the mathematical consequence of every Tuesday Marcus treated as financially invisible. This is the Sunday tax. The real price of unconscious spending isn't the money. It's the compounded freedom that never accumulates. The Sundays at 57, retired on schedule, pension intact, technically fine, but without the choices that capital provides, without the ability to say no to anything that doesn't serve you, without the experience of looking at your life and knowing that the shape of it was chosen, not inherited. Some of you are 31, some of you are 41. The math is different, but the direction is the same. The 78% isn't a statistic about other people. It's a mirror. Marcus is still making coffee in the same place, still eating delivery on Tuesdays. I'm not going to tell you he revolutionized his finances in 90 days, because that's not how this works. But he did one thing differently. He started what I'd call a visibility practice. Not a budget, not a spreadsheet system, just 30 seconds at the end of each day to open his bank app with intention rather than anxiety. Not to calculate, to witness, to make the invisible visible with his own eyes, every day, until the abstraction of money became concrete enough that System 2 could participate. In the first week, he felt nothing. In the second week, he felt uncomfortable. In the third week, he canceled 2 subscriptions he'd genuinely forgotten he had. Not because someone told him to, because for the first time, he saw them. That's not a financial revolution. That's the first step of a man choosing to become the author of his own financial life, rather than its passenger. Everything else, the investing, the compounding, the strategic allocation, comes after that step. Without it, nothing else holds. I want you to do something before you close this video. Not a spreadsheet, not a resolution. One question. What is one regular expense in your life that, if someone asked you to defend it consciously, to say out loud why it serves the life you actually want, you couldn't? Not the worst one, not the most expensive one, the most automatic one, the one that lives so deep in your routine that it never gets examined. Find that one. That's the crack in the architecture, and cracks are where light gets in. Go to the comments, write the category and just the word, food delivery, subscriptions, coffee, whatever yours is, because the men who comment that word are the ones who are paying attention, and the Mind of Value community is built for exactly that level of attention. We don't do tips here. We don't do hacks. We do the harder, more durable work of seeing clearly. If that's the conversation you want, subscribe. Because the 78% isn't destiny. It's just the default. And defaults can be changed.